Hello, friends. Hope you all are doing well. And today, in this video, we are going to solve another interview problem, that is, find whether two strings are permutation of each other. Okay, so what we have given is two strings, and we have to check whether the one string is permutation of the another one. Okay, so first let's understand what is the permutation of a string. So permutation of a string is another string which uses same number of characters in different order. Okay, so let's see a couple of examples. So let's say we have given these two strings. So we have here a b c a d e. Okay, and another string is a c a e d b. Okay, so if we see that a appears twice in this in the first string, so this is first string and this is second, so a appear twice, and here also the a appear twice. C is there, b is there, d is there, and e is there. Okay, the order are different, but it uses the same number of characters and the same characters. So these two strings are permutation of each other. Okay, so let's say we have a b c and a d e. Okay, these two are different string because here we have b and here we have d. So these two are not permutation, these two are different strings. So similarly a b c d, and here all the characters are different and appear once, and here a b c d, these two also are not permutation because even though bcd is there in both the strings, but here the a appears twice and here the a appears only once. So these also these two strings are also not permutations. Okay, so now we know what is the string permutation. So now let's discuss how we can solve it. So first approach is we can sort this string in the ascending order based on the characters. Okay, so if we sort the above string, it would be a b c d e. Okay, and the second string would be a b, so this is c d e. Okay, so now we have sorted these two strings. Now we can compare if these two strings are equal. Okay, so this is one approach. Here the time complexity would be n log n, because we are doing the we are sorting the strings, and so the complexity will be n log n. We'll use something called merge sort. Okay, can we do it better? Yes, we can solve it in O of n, time complexity and space complexity O of n. Okay, so what we can do is we can maintain a map or dictionary. Okay, so first we'll iterate the first string. Okay, and we'll maintain a map. The key in the map would be the character. Okay, and the value, the number of time it appears, so it's count. So number of time it appears in the string. So now let's do that. So let's say we have a map here, and let's iterate the first string. So we have a, the count is 1, then b, the count is 1, c, count 1, and then a appears again, so we'll increment the count, so that is 2, and then d, so count is 1, and E, the count is 1. Okay, now we are done with this iteration. Now we'll iterate the second string and we'll start looking each character in the map and start reducing the count. Okay, and so first condition, the character must appear, okay, in the map. And second, once we find a character in a map, we'll reduce the count. So let's see that. So first is A. So A is there in the map. So now we'll reduce the count of A. So right now the count is 2. We'll reduce it to, we'll do -1. So now the count is 1. Then C. So C, the count is 1. So we'll reduce the count to 0. And then A again, so right now the A count is 1, so we'll reduce it to 0. E, similarly E, the count will be reduced to 0. D, B, so similarly this will be reduced to 0 and this is reduced to 0. Now we are done with the iteration. Okay, and once we are done with the iteration, now we'll iterate the map. Okay, now we'll iterate the map and we'll check that all the keys has 0 value. If it is not 0, we'll return false. Okay, so let's say this this A is not there. Okay, so while during the iteration, we'll see A appears only once in the second string, so we'll reduce it to 1, but will not reduce it to 0 because this A appears only one time in the second string. Okay, so once we are done with the iteration, we'll see the count is for A is not 0, it's 1, so we'll return false, that strings are not permutation. Sorry, here we'll return true. So once we are done with the iteration, check the map. If all counts are 0, return true. That means the strings are permutation of each other. Okay, if the count is any of the count is not 0, return false. Okay, so is there any other condition? So let's say it has let's say it has another character called F. So during iteration, the character F, there is no entry in the map, right? So then also we'll return false because there's no entry in the map. That means this character doesn't appear in the first string. Okay, so now let's go back to the problem. So these are the two examples and approach. Method 1, sort both the strings and compare. Okay, and another approach is to use hash map, and here the space complexity is also O of n. Okay, so let's quickly read the approach. Check if both the strings are having same length, right? So that is the first condition. If not, return false. No need to compare anything else because the length itself is not matching. That means strings are not permutation. Create a hash map, make character as key and count its value. Navigate the string 1, taking one character at a time. Check if the character already exists in the hash map. If yes, increment the count by 1. If it doesn't exist, insert into hash map with the count as 1. Okay, now navigate the second string, taking each character at a time, one character at a time, and check if the character exists in the map. If yes, decrease its count by 1. If it does not, then return false. At the end, navigate through the hash map and check if all the keys have 0 count against it. If yes, return true, else return false. So let's quickly look at the code. So here we have given two strings and we are calling the function is permutation and passing two strings. So yeah, here this is the function. So first we are checking the length. If the length are not matching, return false. Okay, now we are creating a map here, and now we are iterating the map and taking one character at a time and checking if character exists in the map. If yes, get the existing value, which is the count, add 1 and put it back. Else put the character in the map with the count 1. Okay, now iterate the second string s2 and check if the character exists in the map, right? If it exists, get the count. Okay, get the count, and if the count is already 0. Okay, so this is another scenario. So let's say we have so let's say we have ABC and AAC. Okay, so we'll create the map from the first string. So A appears 1, B 1, C 1. Okay, now we'll iterate the second string and start reducing the count. So here we'll reduce it to 0, and when we are here, the count is already 0. Okay, so that means this A in this string, the A appears more times than first string, so we'll return false. So let's go back to the problem. Yeah, so we'll get the value, and if the value is already 0, return false. Else reduce the value by 1 and put it back. And if map doesn't even have the character, return false. Okay, so once we are done with here, now the only part is left is iterate the map and check if all the keys has 0 count. So keys iterating, and yeah, we are checking if all the counts are 0. If not 0, return false. So finally, if you are here, that means you have passed all the conditions here, so return true. Okay, so now let's run this code. So we have here okay, so this is true and this is false, because here we have extra x. Okay, so yeah, now we can mark this problem as completed, and visit our website tutorialhorizon.com, and yeah, we'll see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.